a little bit early, so I'm just getting my screen up so I can actually see the chat this time. But thank you so much for being here. I really wanted to update. So I've been on vacation for the past week, and it's been really fun. We had so much fun. We've done so much walking. It's actually crazy. I think our last day in New York City, we actually did around, oh no, I'm gonna say the wrong thing. Maybe 30. I'm gonna look it up. But we did a ton of steps. We did so much walking, and I have to say my legs and muscles and everything are so sore, but it was so worth it. So I'm gonna get the chat open so I can see as those come in, because that was something that I couldn't see last time. It was very hard. So, but now, Simonia, hi. Hi. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. I'm just getting the chat open so I can see what's going on. And it's a little bit easier this time so I can see on a separate screen instead of using my phone. But yes, we've been on vacation for this past week. It's been really fun. If you don't know, we were in New York. We went from Albany all the way to the city. So we did a lot of adventuring, and it was definitely interesting because it was the first time that I was kind of out of the element of being home and being on Mounjaro since being on Mounjaro. So I'm gonna do a weigh-in, and I already know what I weigh now, but yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a few minutes to share that, but definitely a learning curve, I'm gonna say. Dang. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to see the comments on another screen, so I'm going to go by what I see here. But thank you so much for being here. Oh my goodness, I'm going to share a few things. I'm excited because I have my weigh-in and my A1C. I'm more excited to share my A1C because that's actually good. My weigh-in, I'm just gonna get to it. So last week, let me get my notes here. So last week I was 246.6, and that was a total loss from starting and being on Mounjaro. That was 54.3 pounds lost, which was amazing to actually get to 50 50 and now 54. But this week, since being on vacation for a week, I was not on my diet or anything like that. Not that I'm on a diet, but obviously, hi Grace, thanks so much for being here. I can kind of see your comments here come up really fast. I wish it was available right away, but I guess I'll have to figure that out for next time. But thank you so much for being here. I was just sharing my weigh-in update from after being on vacation. Hi, Becky. It's good to see you. I just watched your video earlier. I'm catching up on everybody's videos. It's kind of fun because, usually I would have to wait for everyone's videos to come up and everything and kind of watch them as they come, but now I can kind of binge binge everybody's videos and kind of catch up with you all. So it's nice to see you. So thank you so much for being here. So last week I was 246.6, and that's when I weighed in before we went on vacation. And then yesterday I weighed in once we got back from the flight and everything. So I am now 253.0. So that means I gained from vacation 6.4 pounds, which I'm not proud of necessarily. I'm not freaking out too much because I definitely we went to New York. If you're just coming in, we went to New York. I had pizza. I don't usually have carbs like I definitely had this past week. So that was definitely something different. So I understand why there was a change and a gain. And if you also have lipedema, if you've ever if you've ever been on a flight or a plane, I noticed last time when I got off the plane, I think it took me a day to feel my legs had this swollen feeling, and it actually ended up hurting me. And that was a big red flag for having lipedema, but I didn't really know last time. But I definitely feel swollenness in my legs and everything. So that's not really fun. So I'm kind of waiting for that to go away right now. But hang on, you guys. I'm trying to see comments. I'm so sorry if I'm missing anything. Graze, you said it's likely just inflammation and water retention. I could definitely see that being a thing because I don't usually have all those carbs. And I think the majority of what I was eating was very carby, starchy things. I usually have salads during the week to kind of fill in, and lots of vegetables and fresh whole foods as much as possible, and really low carb. And that was definitely not what I was able to do on vacation. But I was kind of not really too worried about it. I just, my goal or plan was more to not overeat and not, I don't know if I had a certain plan exactly, but I didn't want to make myself sick. So if we did have pizza, we ordered a slice of pizza and we didn't have like a whole pie, you know? So that was very easy to do in the city and everything like that. Lisa, yeah, Lisa, maybe it's all the muscle from our walking because we did so much. I can't even tell you. I have it all on my phone and I didn't think about saving it somewhere else because I'm on my phone now. So I will share. I'm gonna do a separate video and everything, kind of summing up my 4 months on Manjaro because it's that time now. So I'm gonna maybe do a little bit of a recap of the week also, but it was just easier to do a live here and kind of catch up live with you guys. So thank you for being here again. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up a little bit. Oh, Dina's here. Hi, Dina. How are you? Oh, my hand. Oh, Grace is asking about my lipedema diagnosis. Um, what can you ask your provider? I would bring it up to maybe ask if it's a possibility that um, that if you think that that's something that you have, if maybe you look on Google. The only thing that really stood out for me so much when I told my doctor was I told her that there were things that I noticed that, like my legs, I would have this numbness, and that really triggered me needing to talk to the doctor. My arms do have a lot of extra skin. They have for quite a long time. And that I always just figured, oh, I'm, overweight. This is how my body is, reacting to being overweight. So I never really brought those things up, but I do think maybe, I think there's certain doctors that may go beyond what you ask of them, and maybe they'll, look and see, hey, this person, my patient, has never been diagnosed with this, and I think that it's a possibility. That would be a great doctor, to kind of go above and beyond in that way. I think some doctors, it's hard to find. I don't know if a lot of people will do that these days. Um, but sometimes you just have to, or I've learned that I had to advocate for myself in those ways, by saying, hey, like, I feel this numbness. What's going on with that? So I had to bring that up. And maybe a few years ago, I wouldn't have done that. But there are signs for lipedema if you wanted to ask your doctor. Hi, Issa. I'm sorry I'm taking so long to read these. Next time I'm definitely gonna have something up so that I can see everything. But hi, thank you so much for joining. I'm I see Grace asked about my going to the bathroom during the trip, and I definitely was not going regularly at all, and that's something that I need to catch up on now. I've been drinking so much water. Um, Today I've been drinking so much water. I will say this past week I definitely haven't been drinking enough water. Um, and if you're on Mounjaro, you probably know that that's something that helps a lot, especially with digestion. And I've noticed being more regular when I drink my water. It helps so much. But the thing is, when we were driving, so we went from Albany down to a little bit of Connecticut and down to Sleepy Hollow, Tarrytown, and then the city. It was a lot of driving, and if you drink a lot of water, you know that you probably have to go to the bathroom a bunch of times. And we were kind of in an unknown place, and my nightmare was just having to like go to the bathroom in out of the middle of nowhere. Um, so I did not end up drinking very much at all this past week, and I need to catch up with that. I might actually take some Mago 7 if it doesn't help soon with the water and everything, because it's actually starting to be uncomfortable. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in. Diana, I see you're here. Thank you so much for being here. And Grace, by the way, I know you've yet to do a review on it, but I found the firming body lotion. Yes, I actually have it here because it was bothering me that I couldn't remember the name of it. And I'm excited to give it a try. So they still had it in store, Grace. I was really kind of worried about that because I feel like every time I go into Trader Joe's, they have really different things each time we go to the store, and I wasn't sure about the body care. This was my first time getting the body care like that. Oh, you're gonna use it on specifically on my thighs, arms, and neck. Yep, that's what I was doing for a while too, but I kind of just lazily stopped using it everywhere else and just like my neck. But I do like it. It's pretty moisturizing. In the least you'll be moisturizing your skin, which doesn't hurt either way. But this is the one that I was talking about from the last live. If you were there, thank you so much for watching that one. But if you didn't catch it, I was talking about the Trader Joe's body firming body butter, and has vitamin C. And I wanted to wait until I use the whole thing, and I'm down to the very last bit. I bought this before I started Mounjaro, like right before when I started. So this bottle actually lasted me since May. I've been pretty good about using it just because. Let me know if you've also found when you started Mounjaro. I'm not saying I didn't take care of myself, but I feel like I am taking better care of just my personal self. I never had a solid skin routine or anything like that. And I've kind of picked one up a little bit just because I feel like it's part of the self-love and, taking care of yourself. And I don't think it needs to be expensive. And that's why I brought this one up. I don't think it was very expensive at all. It was pretty reasonable, at least when I got it. But you know, some of those creams and everything can be very, very expensive. It's crazy if you've looked at any of those lately. Tina, you said I take Mago 7 every evening, one only. Oh wow. Okay, if that's what works for you. I don't remember what it says on the instructions, but I do like to use it also. It definitely helps me also. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, okay, so you got the same one. Okay, cool. So they still have it. So we're gonna have to drop back in and pick another one up because I do want to repurchase it. You guys are funny. Actually, since I brought up this body firming butter, I do also use a body wash. This body wash though, I did also use, I waited till the end. I wouldn't say that either one is, you know, is firming my skin. I do not know. I have no idea. Do I like the products though? Yes. And at least in the least, you're moisturizing your skin, and if it's doing anything, that's cool too. But I got this on sale. Also, I feel like this one was a little bit expensive. If you've seen this one, I was very curious because it says it's for elasticity boosting collagen peptide serum. And I waited for this one to go on sale. I feel like Olay doesn't really go on sale very much. I just repurchased another bottle, so I waited to kind of finish this one also. Sorry, I'm catching up. Oh yes, the Mago 7, I think this is the very small bottle. I didn't want to buy the big one because I don't remember if I don't remember if it was expensive, but I just was accumulating a lot of products and I just didn't want to get the big one until I saw that it's working. And I have quite a few. This is going to last me quite a while. But the small one to try was not bad at all. Hi, sweatpants and champagne. I was just watching you earlier. Shayna is here. Hi, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I think so when we were, I'm sorry if I'm wiping my nose. I feel like when we were in New York, it was cooler and I'm not used to the cold weather. And I feel like my nose just started dripping a little bit, but I'm fine. We don't have to jinx it or anything. I've been taking, what's that, emergency? I've been living on emergency, kind of using that. So I'm feeling fine. Okay, everything's fine. My nose is not dripping or anything. But also, so since there was a gain this week, I'm just excited to kind of go back to what I was doing. I'm excited to kind of get this inflammation down because I can literally feel it. I don't know what's going on with my leg. I don't know if it was because we were walking so much or anything like that, but it was really a beautiful trip. So I'm going to do a separate video on vacation. I like to kind of document our vacations and make little videos for them. So I'm going to share that at some point, and then I'm also going to get back to the weekly videos and kind of doing that. Shayna's asking, oops, I almost deleted the comment. Shayna's asking, did you love the fall foliage? Oh, thank you. Yes, I shared some pictures in the posts. Thank you so much. It was beautiful. Honestly, it made me kind of emotional because it's been something that I've wanted to experience for a long time. I do have family in New Jersey and New York area, so I got to see them And just seeing the fall colors. My mom actually reminded me when we were there. I feel so silly because I actually picked up a bunch of leaves to bring back, and I was going to do maybe like a little craft and kind of frame them or something, and kind of put the little labels, something very simple, like little labels of where I found the leaves and stuff. Yeah, I left them in the rental car. So there's just a bunch of leaves in the rental car that I left, but it was honestly beautiful. It was really an experience. We did catch those really bright colors, really bright oranges and yellows and everything like that. So it was really beautiful being in that kind of area. I know that's where you are, Shayna. That's your kind of area, so you get to see that. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to get the comments back here. Oh, Becky, you also live near the colors also. Yeah, I feel pretty grateful because I feel like when we were leaving, maybe it was just where we were. I'm sure the fall foliage kind of varies since we went from Albany all the way down to the city. I feel like towards the city where we kind of ended off, it was getting a little bit less and the trees were getting naked. So um, I feel lucky that we were able to see so much and go hiking in it and everything like that. By the way, the hiking in Florida is very different from the hiking in anywhere above Florida, I guess. We're so flat that I don't even think we're hiking most of the time. We're kind of just walking. That is no joke. We were like going uphill and downhill more. The uphill was very interesting. Literally rocks in the hiking trails. I've never done that before. It was very fun. So if you live anywhere where you have the fall colors and everything, that's awesome. Odina, you are also, oh yeah, I've seen your leaves. You're in Ohio. I've seen your yellow leaves popping out when you were walking that cemetery. That was beautiful. Um, but but in good news, aside from a 6 pound gain, by the way, from this past week from vacation, if you just came in or anything. Um, so besides gaining, I did want to update. Um, I'm going to put this in a separate video also because I'm not sure everyone's going to see this, but I did get back my A1C and I'm very happy about that. Let me see. So the last time I got my A1C checked, it was in October. Wait, is that right? Oh, wait. It was April 17th, 2025 to be specific. And my value then was 7.0. For A1C, that was high. That was in parentheses high when I got um, my test back. And before that, that was after me kind of editing my foods. And my highest A1C was February 2022. That's before I really started taking a conscious effort in my health and wanting to feel better and be better overall with my health. My A1C at the time was 9.5, which is very bad, very, very high. To me, that was not good. So 9.5 to 7.0 in April now. So that was an improvement. And now, since being on Mounjaro, this is my first time getting my A1C back, and it was value 5.4. So October 3rd, I just got it done. 5.4. And it did not say high next to the number. I'm pretty sure it actually said that this was in range of being a pretty healthy for someone with diabetes, type 2 diabetes, which I have. So, I don't know. This is definitely proof that, the foods and everything that I'm eating, the improving my exercise, the foods, the concentrating on all these good things and Manjaro, the fact that it's helping me with my foods and my mental I'm gonna say mental food problems. And we don't have to I don't know if it's gonna get flagged or anything for saying other things, but you know what I mean. That has been it's been a game changer. So seeing that I have a pretty regular 5.4 value on my A1C is just amazing. And my family has been very supportive. When they saw that my family said that they're proud of me, and that made me feel really good, because it means something, to your health. Thank you. Yes, it did come down a lot, Diana. Thank you. I'm very happy about it. It feels really good. And I can feel the difference, and then seeing that come back and, having those numbers change is so good. Oh, Grays, you're asking what did it start with? My highest A1C was 9.5, and that was February 2022. And then my previous test was April, April 2025. That was 7.0, getting better. And now it's 5.4, which both of those previous ones were high. And then this one did not say high anymore. So we're in a good place, and I'm very happy about that. Thank you. Yes, diabetes remission. I mean, just got to keep going. And the fact that, I'm able to take this medicine is, helped a lot. So that is the goal, to just keep going and get healthier. It does seem like it came down fast. And I was actually supposed to take the test. um I forget how often you're supposed to take the test, but it took me a while to get it done. For some reason, I think I had to cancel it a few times. Um, I think I missed one for some reason, but I'm gonna try to keep that regular and see what it comes back as, and I'll share, of course, um, if there's any updates on that. I still haven't spoken to my doctor yet personally. I think sometimes you have to, at least for me, I've noticed even if I get my tests back or anything like that, and if it's good or bad, I have to kind of call in to talk to the doctor. And then sometimes it ends up being a whole appointment and you have to pay for another copay. And I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. I might wait for my actual appointment. Um, but I'm excited to talk to her to see what she says about that. And I am staying on the 5 milligrams. I'm on that 5 milligrams right now, and I think I'm going to stay on it. It's kind of strange because as for I was going to talk about some side effects, suppression, and food noise. As for side effects, I haven't really had anything other than the constipation, but it was kind of, I think the constipation was really due to kind of eating strangely this week, and not having the water that I'm used to. And as for suppression, that's also been very good. When I show my food, um I'm gonna make a video because I did share most all of my food from vacation. Um, I just wanted to kind of be honest and show what I was having. I wasn't really holding back per se, but also not going bonkers crazy, especially in balance with all the activity we were doing. The suppression, I would say, is still good because I did not finish, a lot of my meals. I was kind of eating as much as I could until I wasn't hungry anymore, and then I would have, the rest of my plate left with, of course, before Banjaro, that wasn't a thing. I would just eat, like, everything on my plate. If there was crust or bread that I didn't really, like, exactly like, or there was nothing but bread, I would always just finish it because it was there, and now I could put it down and not have that. I don't know what it was. Was it a compulsion or just not thinking about it? I don't know, but it's not there anymore, and I can kind of leave what is not necessary to eat or what I don't want necessarily. So, um, that was a difference in, especially eating in vacation. That was definitely something that was very different, and I think that helps a lot, not having to finish all the food and not, if I had pizza previously before starting Manjaro, I would want pizza until my stomach hurt, literally until even after my stomach hurt. And I think that's something hard for some people to understand, if they don't have trouble with food noise. Why would you eat past having your stomach hurt? I think a lot of people, anyone watching, right, if you're watching right now and you're on Manjaro and you've dealt with food noise, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Um, it's just a strange thing, especially now after it's gone. It's so strange to not have that anymore. But it's very helpful. Yeah, Becky, you understand. Yeah, it's hard to explain, it to someone who doesn't suffer with those things, and having this medicine, I'm sure um, like, you would never, like, have one piece of pizza. That would never happen. um, so on this trip, yes, I could have one piece of pizza and be good with that and be very satisfied, and you know despite gaining, I feel like we did pretty well with that. um Diana, you said that's a great number. Most I know their numbers come down a lot also, and that's good. That is, just one of those big things that when those numbers are high, I know I felt it when it was 9, when my numbers were 9, my A1C, I felt it. I felt overall very, just kind of sick, very tired. My blood pressure, I think, was pretty high, and just a lot of things, at once just didn't feel great, and it it definitely didn't, help in wanting to do anything. So you're kind of stuck in this place. So let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to go up. Yeah, Grace, you understand. I know, and it's, um I try, when I hear other people, maybe judging, like how other people eat, it's so unhelpful because there's no way that you can understand. So when you're looking in on someone else's, experiences, even if it's not for weight loss or, things that we can understand, I feel like it's important to be, I don't know, open-minded, I guess, because there's things that we just don't understand. And, um, if we don't experience it, it's definitely something to think about in general. And I've definitely caught myself, you know, judge. It's very normal, I think, to judge. And if you don't catch yourself, um, I've caught myself, judging a person and being like, why are they doing that? Why is it, why would it be hard not to do that? And I've caught myself, and I think that this experience, um, has helped me go beyond, myself and thinking about those things for just myself and my experience. Yeah, graze. You also I never felt satisfied until I was stuffed. Yeah, yeah, until my like stomach actually hurt and then, you'd still be like, I want more, especially pizza. Yeah, Dina, it's easy to judge ourselves too. That's very true. Very, very true. And then you get caught in, judging yourself. You get caught in the self-doubt. It's a whole spiral. It's not fun. Um, but I think that that's part of the journey. This journey is not just, losing weight, exercise. It's a whole mental acrobat. It's like a whole thing. And I think if you get that, I think it's such a powerful tool to have this where you can look back and see, wow, that's how I was thinking. I don't know. It's just it's a crazy tool that we have. Yeah, Dina, you've been more merciful to yourself. Yeah, me too. Me too. Very much so. And I've noticed this was something that I was going to talk about in another video, but as for sharing with family and things like that, I do share that I'm on Manjaro with my friends and family, but there are some people that I know in my life. Before, I'm going to use an example because it's a specific example of something that recently happened to me. I'm not going to use names or anything, so I don't feel weird talking about this. But one of my family members was visiting, and I didn't even, there wasn't really a time to express, I'm a Manjaro, I'm losing weight or anything like that. It never came up. Um, so this person did make a comment generally about GLP-1s and things like that, and their opinion came out, and it was more of a negative type of opinion, which everybody has their own opinions, but it was mostly, well, if this person, they were saying, well, if this person's on a GLP-1, they're just going to gain it all back, like, you know and that was her opinion, that no matter what, even if you're on this medicine, you're getting to gain it all back, and then what's the point? So this person is very into health. She's very into natural kind of medicine, healing, things like that, which is great, and that works for them. But there are people with other ailments, other things like the mental side, where just eating whole foods isn't necessarily going to help with everything else that maybe the GLP-1 is helping with. And I'm not sure if saying things like, well, everyone, just a general blanket statement that everyone on GLP-1 is just gonna gain it all back if and when they stop. Um, it's probably true that some people might and would, but I feel like it's very individual. Maybe there's a reason why that would happen. There's so many reasons why that may happen. It also may not happen. The person may learn and kind of adjust their living to be able to maintain, and that is something that people do also. So both things are true, but to be at a gathering like that, I guess with her family, I ended up not being comfortable with mentioning that I'm on a GLP-1. I could have probably, said, "Hey, I'm actually on this," and that's maybe not true, and maybe fought on my side, but I didn't really you know, this is her opinion. I didn't really feel the need to do that for myself. Um, you know, but there are some people that I feel like you don't need to talk to about. I mean, you could educate people, maybe more on your side, but I didn't really feel like I didn't really feel like doing that. Sorry, I'm catching up here. Grace, you said the relief is profound, but also too overwhelming. Food was my constant when I was happy, sad, angry, and worried. Yeah. Um, and that is true because you have to look inside and figure out why you're feeling those feelings. And personally, I was doing a lot of covering for a lot of emotions that I didn't want to face myself, and that's gonna maybe get a little personal, but I'm sure for everybody it's almost very similar and very different. But that is very true, and that's part of the hard work that we have to do, and it's not easy, but also very good for us. So it's good that you're doing that. Becky, you said being on Zepbound is like having a toxic friendship. Toxic, but friendship. That's a good way of putting it. I kind of want to save that too to look back on. Yeah, Becky, I agree. Also, Jenny, your shirt looks like it's too big. I think I bought it like this. It's supposed to be like a cocoon shirt, but I did go down a size, and that is something that I wanted to bring up. Let me write this down because I'm gonna go Dory in a second. Size. I'm just gonna forget what I was talking about. You say, Grays, you say, yes, the same way someone with high blood pressure, cholesterol, etc. would have recurring events without their treatment. Oh no. Anna, I'm not sure if I deleted your comment. I'm so sorry if I did that. Hi, Kim K. It's nice to see you, Anna. It's nice to see you too. I'm not sure if I deleted your comment, and I'm not sure if I could put it back. I'm sorry if I did that. Shayna, you said, I didn't know emotional eating was a type of food noise. That was very helpful for me to understand. I think I just lump it all in because maybe it's hard to differentiate all those things because it's weird when starting Mounjaro. It's like it's all there, and immediately it's just, or at least for me, it was pretty immediate that it was kind of all gone. And then I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be weird to not have it. And I have to remember how it felt before to have it all and the difference. But I wrote down my size, and I kind of wonder if this is so this shirt, it was supposed to be like a big cocoon style shirt, so I think I bought it large, and it's supposed to be kind of you know, big and extra. But something I wanted to talk about is I started off at 22, 24 size, and now I'm usually fitting into 18, 20, and now 18, 20 is starting to be a little bit loose. But there's something in my mind that's keeping me from wanting to try anything lower because I've never been anything lower, and I think I just need to try it and see how it is. But of course, it's funny because each brand has different kind of sizing. So I usually stick with Torrid and Lane Bryant and those things. But I've been noticing that the smaller sizes, at least for me, are starting to fit, and it just feels it's a little strange to see that, to kind of move on. And I have to get myself to try it. Yeah, Shayna, time for a shopping trip. It's actually funny because I thought, oh, it was actually something that you said in your video. I I think I was watching an old one because I'm catching up, but you said something about, I think it was your weighted vest. So Shayna just got a weighted vest. Um, I was watching the video and you said something about how it's strange carrying the weight that you've put off. And you reminded me that I overpack. And I had a suitcase that was 50, at the end of the trip it was like 54 pounds. I think I just packed weird, and things got moved over to the next bag, but 54 pounds. And that's around, what I've lost. And you reminded me that that is, close to what we were carrying around. And I had so much trouble carrying that through everything. I had to pick it up to bring it up to like different surfaces and everything while traveling. And holy crap, that was a bad one. But you reminded me that that's close to what I was carrying around. And I can't even imagine that, because it was very hard to maneuver the bag around. And yeah, that was definitely a little trigger in my mind. So thank you. You reminded me of that. But when we got to when we got to New York and Albany, it was colder than I realized, and I didn't realize I didn't have pants that fit anymore. So before we left, I didn't have any good pants. I tried on all my pants and they looked really baggy and yucky, and I was not going to wear them. So I only had legging type pants, and that was a big mistake. So we actually had to do a little bit of shopping before we went out to do things like outside. So I did have to do a little bit of shopping, and I did get, I think in pants, I'm still 18-20. And then in tops are a little bit smaller. So I might be, what's the next one? 18, whatever's below 18-20. So yeah, I think 14. No, I don't know. I have to look. Kim, you say, yes, try. At Lane Bryant, 14s now fit loose on me, but I'm not 14 yet. At some other stores right now, I have 16s and 14s and even 12 and a pair of capris. Yeah, it's weird because all the stores are a little bit different, but I'm definitely noticing the same thing where the numbers are getting a little smaller. So it feels good. Dina, you said I've been doing Goodwill haul. You've been really inspiring me to check out my Goodwill. I think that's a great idea, especially if we're gonna be cycling out the sizes. At least that's the hope, right? Whenever I've tried Goodwill, I was needing bigger sizes and I never had luck. I was looking for 22, 24, and I never had very good luck near me. But now that my sizes might be a little bit smaller, I'm going to try that, Dina, to try Goodwill and see what I can find also. Because I think you said you found some good stuff, and I also want to save money. I love Lane Bryant, but they're a little bit expensive. So it's good for some things, and then I think I'm gonna try Goodwill also, or maybe like a good thrift store. Let's see, Shayna, you say yes, it's a real experience to know the amount of weight we have actually lost and then hold it. It's humbling in such a great way. Yeah, I didn't realize that until I got home and watched your video. And yeah, that actually kind of makes me a little bit emotional, because those bags were very heavy. Shayna, you say try Old Navy curvy stretch jeans. Old Navy curvy stretch jeans. Let me write that down. Stretch. The part I have trouble with pants, I'm gonna draw myself. I hope I don't offend anyone, but like, this is just being honest. This is my shape that I have, and it's very, I'm not making fun of myself because this is true. I will show you in pictures. This is like my belly, and this is where pants get messed up with me, because it will fit up here, and then the way the fabric has to go here from here, it just ends up looking so messy, like in the crotch, and that's, I just have had so much trouble with it. I think it's the style that I'm choosing, because I was recently, oh, you guys already know, I was recently in New York. I'm just trying to, I bought wide leg pants, and those looked so much better than when I was trying to fit into skinny jean pants. That's just I'm 36 years old, and that was always the thing, skinny jeans. Jeggings are good with me with this shape. It kind of just like, you know, does what it's supposed to do. It just forms to you. But the regular jeans, they just have that like sloppiness there in my crotch, and I just do not like it, especially if I'm walking. It just looks so strange. But let me see. But that's a good suggestion. I wrote that one down so I can look those up. Grace says, I swear we need a GLP-1 clothes swap. And that would be so good to kind of just pass everything around. We need a website. What would it be called? Yeah, that is a great idea, Grace. Shayna, you say, so the straight leg So the straight leg stretch from Old Navy, oops, and not the curvy. The curvy is for people with hips and butts. I think I lost a lot of my butt with like, even when I look at the pictures, I can see that my butt's changed a little bit. So I don't know. I think I have to do some squats or something to bring my butt back a little bit. Even if I'm sitting, we were sitting on the plane, and oh my God, I have to tell you about the plane. I went to the bathroom for the first time in the plane. Wait, I'm gonna get sidetracked again. But my butt, I noticed, wait, bathroom, plane, okay. Sitting for a long time now, I feel my butt bones touching like the seat, and it's a little harder to sit for a long time now because I feel my butt bones more. Let me see. Oh, Dina, you have a name for the clothing swap. Is name big small. Wait, big to small GLP-1 clothes swap. That is a good idea, though. That is good. Yeah, GLP-1 clothing swap. That is a really good idea. I'm sure a lot of people could use that. But I went to the bathroom for the first time in the plane, and let me know if you've ever done this. I'm a very bad flyer, very nervous. I have so much trouble with it. I am holding on to my boyfriend's hand the whole time and kind of shaking him every time I feel anything, just so he knows that I feel it. So the guy next to me, he was a flight attendant, off-duty flight attendant, and man, he went to the bathroom, so I ended up getting up, and you know, I drank a lot that day because our flight was canceled, it was delayed, and I didn't time my bathroom, my peeing up enough to not go on the flight. We were on the, what do you call it? When you're waiting to take off, we were on like the roadway for quite a long time. So I had to go to the bathroom, and I went to the small one. Apparently there's different ones. I went to the small one and my body touched the freaking walls like when I got inside, and from arm to arm, side to side, if I was, before Mounjaro, if I tried to get into that bathroom, there was no way that I was going to be able to do anything that I needed to do in the bathroom. There was no way. So after losing weight now, I can't imagine. I don't know. I need to know if other people are also, I can't imagine people doing much in there. I swear, like I could barely move around in there. So that was quite humbling in the little freaking plain bathroom. Let's see, Kim. Yeah, wait. Kim K says, yes, oh my God, it feels like I'm sitting on rocks sometimes. Yuck. Yeah, depending on the cushion of the seats, now that we don't have our own cushions, it could definitely feel pretty bad. Let's see, Grays, you say, oh no, Jenny, hit those squats and hip thrusts. I do need to do more squats. I want to do one of those squat challenges, but I need to give myself a little bit of a break after this trip because my legs right now, man, they feel like noodles. Dina, you've avoided it. You've avoided doing squats. Shayna, you too. we gotta do that challenge. I watched someone, they were doing the challenge. She was doing really well. I wish I remembered who that was. Oh, going to the bathroom. Yep, I've tried avoiding it. I couldn't do it this time though. Our flight kind of got a little messy at the end. Oh, Grays, you're asking how many steps did we get in? I wish I could remember. I want to say 30,000 was our most walked day, and that was the last day where we walked in the city, and we did a lot of backtracking in the city. Just a lot of walking. We tried very hard not to use Uber. We used the subway as much as possible, and that was definitely an experience. And 30,000 steps was our most, and all throughout the vacation was at least 10,000 steps. I don't think there was a day where we were far from being under. I don't think we were under 10,000. I'm gonna share, maybe I'll share like in a post all our days because they were pretty high. I'm very proud of that, at least for, even though we gained, or I gained, even though I gained, it was very active, and I can't imagine if we didn't have all the activity what it would have been like. Let's see, yeah, the on the airplane, Miss Toy and Twain, they have what? Oh no, I think I'm lost. Non-stop challenges. Oh, maybe that's who was doing the challenges. Yeah, maybe. I have to remember. Yeah, 30,000. And we did a lot of uphill and downhill. If anybody has visited Tarrytown, or I guess it's anywhere really. I just live in Florida, so I'm a little bit sheltered when it comes to elevated uphill and downhill walking like that. I'm not used to it. I'm sure a lot of places, not just Tarrytown and Sleepy Hollow, have that, but that is where we we made some muscles. I think we made a lot of muscles there. I wanted to see, so I am staying on 5 milligrams, and I think that was literally everything that I had written down. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to make a video for our vacation, kind of get that together, and then get back to our weekly video catch up and everything. And I think I'll be doing a 4 month catch up on everything to kind of round everything out. Maybe that'll be the next one, I think. Hi, Kieran. Kieran, I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you so much for being here. She says, "Hey Jenny, I hope you're having a great week. Glad I'm catching this live. 30,000 steps is amazing. It's currently my time of the month, and I just had 10 chicken nuggets." Yep. I've noticed, Karen, that I get super hungry at the beginning of my periods now, which of course is not fun, but I feel like it'll ease up hopefully for you. I don't know. I try to drink that water when I get those period cravings. I don't know what it is, that hunger just hits really hard, even with the GLP-1, some weeks or some months I've noticed. So I hope you get your cravings in the period. It's never fun, so I hope that goes away soon for you. Grace, how would you rate the travel experience to your last one where you were 50 pounds over? Yeah. So the difference from my last, what was our last trip? Our last trip was Washington, D.C. We did a lot of walking then also, and I did get winded much easier then. And I can actually look back. So this is funny because I can actually look back at the video and, I can see the difference in myself. I remember getting winded. We did a lot of walking on that trip also, and I didn't want to keep us from doing anything. So it was just really hard. And I found that on this trip, I got winded, of course, because I I was wearing a mask because the cold air really bothers my sinuses. Um, since I'm used to that humidity here in South Florida, that cold air was really hitting my sinuses really hard, and wearing a mask while hiking and doing all those things was not fun, but I noticed that I could go further and do more. And even after doing 30,000 steps, yes, I was tired, but I think I just wouldn't have been able to do a whole week of all those steps without being just absolutely done. And that last day was really where my feet started to hurt. And I feel like before, if I was back at my 50 pounds, what was it, 300 pounds, or more, it definitely wouldn't have been as easy at all. And I don't know if I would have been able to do as much and go as far without being so tired. So I've definitely noticed a difference there. And it's only going to get better. So that's also something else to look forward to for our next trip. Um, and so I'm very grateful for that and being able to experience more and not be as uncomfortable. So I'm sure if you also do, even if it's not a vacation, exercising and be more comfortable in yourself, that's just a giant plus of being able to change your life like this. Let me see. Let's see. Sorry. Kieran, I have those days, but with ice cream. Yeah, Grace. Yeah, yours is ice cream. Becky, Becky, yours is cookies. Yeah, I feel you with, I don't know, I think mine is just chocolate in general. Let's see, Shayna. That's the week I want rice and pasta. Yeah, pasta is a big thing. Um, I feel like that's something that really messes me up with my lipedema, so I have to really keep myself from wanting any kind of pasta, but it did sound good the other day. Um, Kim, you say I don't have periods anymore. Yay, but when cravings hit, it's chocolate cake lately. I know. Yeah, so I guess we're all kind of feeling those cravings once in a while, but there's definitely probably a difference that we're feeling from, start being on Mounjaro and then not. Um, Let me see. Karen, I just hate that after feeling the guilty feeling that eating bad, also having to remember that I'm just human. I will definitely try to up my water intake and prevent those cravings. And that is very true. Kieran, I used to think of those days before Manjaro where you just end up eating everything ever. And the way I used to wake up the next day, and it was almost like a food hangover where you regret all your choices from the day before. And it was like this guilty, hangy over feeling of like, wow, what did I do? I did that again. Um, so if you're feeling that now, I haven't felt it after starting Manjaro, only because I think a lot of those things have been oh, Dina, you're leaving. All right. Good night. It was really nice having you here. So thank you so much for joining. But yeah, I used to look at it as a like a hangover feeling, and that's never fun. But I guess it's hard to say to try not to look at it as something to be guilty for, because we definitely are human, and even with GLP-1s, you can get those cravings, but there's a difference from how we were acting towards foods, or at least that's how I feel before Manjaro and then now. So that difference is really that big difference that really makes a lot of difference now. Hi, Cassandra. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, the food hangover. Yeah, that's how I felt it. And I wonder if anyone if anyone else felt like that. But that's definitely how I used to feel. And it was so often, and it was not a good feeling. Hi, doses of Shaney. Hang on, let me see. Shaney, let me know if I said that right, hopefully. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, Shaney. I think that I'm saying that right. Thank you so much for being here. I was updating from being on vacation for a week. I did gain, but gonna keep working on everything, and my A1C update here. And I was actually gonna close out soon. I don't know how long this has been, but I do want to get some videos out, so from the vacation and everything, and then kind of wrapping up 4 months. So I'm excited to keep going, and it was really nice seeing you guys and talking to you. And next time I'm gonna figure out the chat so that we can maybe highlight and everything. Shani, yeah, okay. That's probably, I don't know if that's what I was saying before, but it was nice seeing everybody, and I'm going to head out for now. And if you guys are making videos or anything. And I, you know, if we watch those, I need to catch up on everyone's. So I've been looking forward to doing that. Um, I'm going to be catching up on everyone's videos and kind of relaxing and doing all those things. So I will catch up with you guys next week. I think I'm going to go back to Sunday videos, but Sunday or Monday. We're going to go get back into schedule. But thank you again so much for being here, and I will catch up with you guys next Sunday or Monday, whenever the video comes out next week. Bye. Yes, bye everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna figure out how to close this.